Most people think eggs are one of the healthiest foods you can eat after 50, and in many ways, they're right. But what if I told you that a single, very common mistake could quietly turn that same egg into something that slows your metabolism, increases inflammation, and drains your energy without you ever realizing it? And here's the unsettling part. It's not about how many eggs you eat. It's about what you're doing to them before they ever reach your plate. I'm Dr. Richard, and today we're going to uncover the hidden mistake with eggs that could be slowing your body down, and more importantly, how to fix it so your body starts working with you, not against you. Let's start with something most people overlook. After the age of 50, your body is no longer playing the same game. Your metabolism naturally begins to slow. Muscle mass starts to decline, a process known as sarcopenia, which simply means age-related muscle loss. Your cells become a little less efficient at producing energy. And underlying all of this, there's often a quiet rise in chronic, low-grade inflammation. Not the kind of inflammation you feel when you sprain your ankle. That's acute and actually helpful. I'm talking about the kind that simmers in the background, slowly interfering with your joints, your blood vessels, your brain, and your metabolism. Now here's where eggs come in. Eggs are one of the most nutrient-dense foods available. They contain complete protein, meaning all the essential amino acids your body needs to repair and maintain muscle. They're rich in choline, which supports brain function and liver health. And they provide important nutrients like vitamin B12, selenium, and antioxidants that protect your eyes and cells. In other words, eggs have the potential to be a repair food. But, and this is where things take a turn, that only happens if they're used the right way. Because what most people never get told is this: the way you cook and combine your eggs can completely change how they behave inside your body. Let me explain. When eggs are exposed to very high heat, especially when they're fried aggressively in a pan until the edges are browned or crispy, something subtle but important begins to happen at the molecular level. The cholesterol in the egg starts to oxidize. Now, oxidation simply means that a molecule becomes unstable after reacting with oxygen, almost like metal rusting over time. And inside your body, these oxidized molecules can act like tiny irritants. They can trigger your immune system, increase inflammation, and contribute to damage along the lining of your blood vessels. So instead of supporting your body's repair systems, that same egg may start to behave more like a stress signal. And this becomes more important after 50, because your body is already dealing with more oxidative stress than it did in your younger years. Your internal cleanup systems, the mechanisms that neutralize these damaged molecules, are not as efficient as they once were. So what might have been harmless at 30 can become a burden at 60. But that's only part of the story, because the real problem doesn't stop at how the egg is cooked. It gets worse when we look at what the egg is eaten with. Think about a typical breakfast: eggs with bacon, eggs with sausage, eggs cooked in butter served with refined bread. This combination is incredibly common and incredibly problematic. Processed meats like bacon and sausage are often high in saturated fats, sodium, and compounds that can promote inflammation when consumed regularly. When you combine that with oxidized cholesterol from high heat cooking, you're essentially creating a perfect storm inside the body. Inflammatory signals increase. Blood vessel function may become impaired, and over time, this can contribute to metabolic slowdown, fatigue, and increased cardiovascular risk. So now, instead of starting your day with a meal that energizes you, you may be quietly triggering the very processes that make you feel older, slower, and more tired. And this is where it gets even more interesting, because there's a third mistake, one that almost nobody talks about, and it has to do with your energy levels. Many people eat eggs on their own, or with very little else. Maybe 2 eggs for breakfast, maybe 3. And they assume that because eggs are high in protein, they'll provide long-lasting energy. But here's the problem. Eggs contain virtually no fiber, and fiber plays a critical role in stabilizing your blood sugar. Without it, your body may not get the steady, sustained energy it needs, especially if your metabolism is already becoming less flexible with age. This can lead to what I call a quiet energy dip. Not a dramatic crash, but a subtle decline in energy, focus, and mental clarity a few hours later. And over time, this pattern can affect how efficiently your mitochondria, your cell's energy-producing structures, do their job. Think of mitochondria as tiny power plants inside your cells. They take in fuel and convert it into usable energy, but they work best when that fuel is steady and balanced. When your meals lack fiber and balance, it's like feeding those power plants inconsistently, causing fluctuations in energy production. And after 50, consistency matters more than ever. So now we have 3 hidden issues: high heat cooking that creates oxidative stress, unhealthy pairings that amplify inflammation, and unbalanced meals that disrupt your energy systems. Individually, each one might seem small, but together, they can quietly slow your body down day after day. But here's the good news. This is completely fixable. And when you correct these mistakes, eggs can go back to being one of the most powerful foods for supporting your body after 50. So let's talk about what to do instead. First, change how you cook your eggs. Instead of high, aggressive heat, switch to gentle cooking methods. Soft boiling, poaching, or lightly scrambling on low heat. You want the egg whites set, but the yolk still slightly soft. Why? Because lower temperatures help preserve the delicate structure of the fats and cholesterol in the egg, reducing the formation of oxidized compounds. Think of it as protecting the integrity of the food, so it can protect the integrity of your body. Second, upgrade what you eat your eggs with. This is where most of the benefit comes from. Pair your eggs with fiber-rich, anti-inflammatory foods, leafy greens, vegetables like spinach, tomatoes or peppers, even a small portion of whole grains if tolerated. These foods provide antioxidants, compounds that help neutralize oxidative stress, and fiber, which supports stable blood sugar and gut health. Your gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living in your digestive system, feeds on fiber. And a healthier microbiome is strongly linked to lower inflammation, better metabolism, and improved immune function. So now, instead of creating an inflammatory meal, you're building one that actively supports repair. Third, and this is the part most people underestimate, balance your meal for sustained energy. A well-built breakfast isn't just about protein. It's about creating a steady release of fuel, protein from eggs, fiber from vegetables, and if appropriate, a small amount of slow-digesting carbohydrates. This combination helps regulate blood sugar, supports your mitochondria, and keeps your energy stable for hours. And here's what happens when you get this right. Your body starts to feel different. Energy becomes more consistent. You feel fuller, longer. Your muscles get the building blocks they need to maintain strength. And that quiet, underlying inflammation, it may begin to settle down. Not overnight, not magically, but gradually, consistently, in a way that supports long-term health. So the next time you crack an egg into a pan, I want you to remember this. It's not just an egg. It's either a signal for repair or a signal for stress. And the difference comes down to a few small choices that most people never think about. If you found this helpful, I'd like to hear from you. How do you usually eat your eggs? Have you noticed any difference in your energy or digestion based on how they're prepared? Share your experience in the comments. And if you want more insights like this, simple changes that can have a real impact on how your body feels after 50, make sure to like this video and subscribe, because your body is always sending signals, and the more you understand them, the better you can respond. I'm Dr. Richard, and I'll see you in the next video.